You know, the reality is, bruh, is that a lot of us won't be able to see a certain type of female before we get money. I'm sorry, man. There are some women that are out of your league. You know what I'm talking about? The woman with the hourglass figure. You know, the female that's about 5'7", 5'8". You know, she tall, she got long legs, long hair. You know what I'm saying? A face that's like around a 7, 8, 9, or a 10. Yeah, those type of women. You won't see them until you get some money. Then women won't be able to give you no play. Them women won't give you no play, bro. You know, cause look who you got competing against those type of women. You got Chaz and Tyrone's. You got men with money competing for those type of women. Okay. You got better looking, taller men that want them, okay? So that's why it's highly competitive for those type of women. Man, you will never ever see those type of women in your life unless you get some bread in your pocket. You feel what I'm saying? Unless you get some money, you ain't gonna see those type of women. That's reality for a lot of dudes, man. You feel me? You know, until you get that bag right, you won't see the type of women that you like. Like right now, the women that you are attracting right now, show reality. You see what I'm saying? The women that you are attracting right now, that's your reality that you facing, right? What's up with it, Sean? Sean Breezy? You feel what I'm saying? Until you get some bread, you won't see no head from them type of women. Look, man, I've been living on this earth for like 45 years. I ain't never been able to date outside my looks level, bro. I ain't never been able to get that one, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know. I ain't never been able to get that one. And the sad reality is that you won't even get a sniff, and definitely you're not gonna get a taste of them type of women, bro. I see them all around here all the time, above my looks level, bro. They don't stop and say hi, bro. They don't have a conversation with you. They don't waste time with you. Have you ever had a conversation with an 8, 9, or a 10? I think I had a conversation once with a 9, but she didn't give me no play. She didn't give me her number. But have you even like got to even up the bat? You fuck for first base, second base. Have you ever got up to bat with an 8, 9, or a 10? You see what I'm saying? So nah, man. These type of women are off limits, bro. The niggas putting babies in that early, bro. Motherfuckers is knocking them up. You feel what I'm saying? She got a big old butt and a nice smile. Good luck trying to pull her. I ain't talking about the butter faces. Those are a lot easier to get. But the ones with the perfect smile, perfect teeth, beautiful, man, good luck getting those. You're gonna need some money. Yeah, I remember when I was young, I used to try to get women that was out of my league. I thought I was the shit when I was young. I said, yeah, I'm good looking, but let me hit up on this female right here. Let me see what hurt. You know what I'm saying? She shot me down like an airplane. She shot me down like an airplane. I remember this girl, her name was Moya, right? She was half black, half Japanese. And I tell this story all the time, man. And I tried to step to her, man. I think I was like 19, 18, 19 or some shit like that. And I tried to step to her. She automatically said no. Moya was fine, man. But she was above my looks level. Moya had big ass titties. She had a nice ass and stuff. And I used to always try to talk to her and shit, man. I never will forget Moya. You know the type of girl that you never forget, man. You know what I'm saying? She was fine, boy. I was trying to get with her. I thought I was handsome. So I stepped to her, man. I guess I wasn't handsome enough. I wasn't tall enough. There is such thing as not being handsome enough. Shit, I'm just not handsome enough to get those type of women. Yeah, you basically like basic handsome. That's all you are, bro. You're basic handsome. And then you get like, and then you got another level of handsome, right? You got, you know, then you got Chaz and Tyrone's, who's at the top of the food chain. You know, so that's how I know I'm not a Tyrone. I don't think I never was. Now, I wasn't a Tyrone because my body count would have been higher. Now, Tyrone's body counts, they go through thousands of women, bro. Thousands, okay? Within like a 10-year period, Chaz and Tyrone's go through thousands. Not hundreds, thousands. You know, they said Chris Brown went through thousands of women, bro. Like he probably, yeah. He don't know. Chris Brown he went through hundreds of thousands of women, bro. Hundreds of thousands. In his music career. That's what they said. Okay? So, you do the math. You know, I'm jealous of some of these top tier dudes, man. The Chris Browns of the world. You know, all these, you know, dudes that these women be lusting after. It's like, God damn, I wish I was that handsome. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was a little bit younger. But you won't see these type of women unless you get that bread started, man. You feel what I'm saying? These type of women are off limits. You're not even gonna get a conversation with them, bro. If you try to start a conversation up with these females, they will shut your conversation down. They will shut your words down. They would only give you 2 or 3 words, bro. 1 or 2 words back. They ain't gonna keep that conversation flowing. You don't deserve to talk to her. You feel what I'm saying? That's how they feel. Like, who is this guy trying to start a conversation with me? Man, he's a lot lesser than me. I done been with better looking women. I mean, I done been with better looking men than him. Let me just give him 1 or 2 words and he'll leave me alone. he'll get the message after a while. That's what happened to me when I was overweight. I remember when I was super overweight, when I was fat, when I had like triple, quadruple chins, okay? I was trying to start a conversation with some of these females and they would only give me 1 or 2 words back, bro. And then when I lost the weight, a lot of the females kept the conversation going. You know what I'm saying? You know, they were nice to me, you know what I'm saying? Some of them wouldn't even give me their number, but they still would talk to me. You feel what I'm saying? They wouldn't, when I was fat and out of shape, I could not get a conversation going no matter what. It was kind of like trying to flick on a lighter or something. You know, you know, you're trying to flick on the lighter and shit, There's no fuel inside your lighter, and you can't get that shit to spark. You can't get that shit to come out. You can't strike up a flame. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how it is when you're trying to talk to a female that's above your looks level, that's out of your league. She just ain't gonna have a conversation with you. Now you got some females that are nice, they'll have a conversation with you, but it don't mean that they like you like that. They might think you cute a little bit, but they say, oh well, he's not good enough. He's not good enough for me. That's basically what they're saying when they reject you. I've been with taller, chattier, Tyromier men than him. See, once a woman get used to the Chads and the Tyromes in the world, that's all they're gonna want. A top tier woman is only checking for Chad and Tyrone only. She never goes down. She doesn't settle for like a guy that's a 7 or something. If she's dating guys who are 8, 9s, and 10s, that's all she gonna want, man. But these guys got options. You feel me? These guys got options. They ain't, they don't have to settle either. I see people with their looks level all the time out here, man. It's all about looks in America. I see young people with young people, and I see old people with old people. And then when you do see a female that's like 20 years younger than the motherfucker that she with, it's because he got money. You feel what I'm saying? Women don't date dudes who are 20 years older than them, bro. Just like that. I mean, you might have some rare cases, you know what I'm saying, where it happens. But it's rare that it happens. When I look around and I see the world around me, I see nothing but people dating their looks level. I see bad genetic people with bad genetic people. People who are sub 5 are, with sub 5, What's up, man? I don't want something different this time. I haven't had no taquitos in a long time. I think I'm gonna get some taquitos today. Yes. Even lurking. Yeah, man. 3 taquitos.
Which one?
The cream. Thank you, man. That's why I couldn't keep that girl, I couldn't keep, what's her name? Gwen, man, because motherfuckers, they hover around those type of women, brother. It's hard to get. It's highly competitive for those type of women. Gwen was a 7, okay, with a big old butt, okay? So even when I was young, I was like 24 years old, bro, and I still couldn't hang on to her. And that was the best I had got with looks. It's a 7 in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? All I was able to get a 7. That's as far as I went. 8, 9s, and 10s, you can forget about it. And when I did get a 7, bro, I couldn't keep them even when I was younger, bro. I think in my life, I slept with about 10 7s, and I was in relationships with 2. Okay? Well, like a fling or a relationship or whatever, right? I was only with them for months, bro. Not years, months. It's just a matter of time before somebody come around with more money and is taller and better looking than you. Comes around and snatches her away. I was mad, man, because I couldn't recover after that. I never did recover a girl like Gwen, bro. Dudes are highly competitive, bro. Unless you the top dog, man, your girl get taken from you. You know? Yep. Yeah, they'll try to take women from you and shit, man. They will. That's why, that's why you shouldn't feel bad if you take somebody's girl. Because they'll take it from you if they had a chance. I noticed, I was like, man, you would never see a type of woman. I was in Starbucks. I saw a woman with a nice, perfect butt and everything, bro. I was looking, I was like, God damn, I'll never be able to get nothing like that. And she was like around a 7. She had a perfect body. I said, no, I'll never be able to see. Not until I get some money, and then I'll see that type of woman. You feel what I'm saying? That's the only way you're gonna get to see these women, man. If I had more money, then that Chad wrong that took Gwen away from me, Gwen she still would have been with me, man. I would have been able to hang on to her because that was a bigger, better deal. Man, Gwen was fine, man. She was like, man. You know. No, 8, 9s, and 10s always got people around them. They're never alone, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is, guy. A higher caliber woman got access to better looking men than you, bro. Why would you settle for a guy that's 5'9", average looking, when she could get a Tyrone instead? I noticed that. Like, man, I'll never get the type of women with the perfect figure, and she tall. I never had a woman that was like around my height. They always was shorter. I think Gwen was around my height. I think my girlfriend Dolores was around my height. That was back in the early 2000s, around 2004, 2005, the mid 2000s. I dated women that was around my height, but they never stuck around. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's get the hell out of here. Oh. You feel what I'm saying? So it's different, man, out here, man. Or, I mean, I should say it's all been the same. You know, it's just sad the way it is, bro. And then as you get older, as you age too, man, it gets worse. You start losing the look that you had when you was young. See, when you're young, man, your face is tighter, so you're able to get more women. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got a youthful vibe to you. You're not in your 40s and stuff like that. I have access to more women in my prime than I do now. You see, it gets worse too with the looks. So if you didn't get that 8, 9, or a 10 while you was in your prime years, you ain't gonna get an 8, 9, or a 10 in your later years. You know, around 40, shit, nah. I started noticing that when I got into my 30s. I was like, damn, I spent a lot of time chasing that one, and I never got her. And I'm on a decline with looks right now, because I noticed when I got into my early 30s, I started having like lines around my eyes. I remember that. Wrinkles started to form, you know. And I was like, damn, I'm not so goddamn invincible after all. Because, you know, when you're young, you think you're invincible. You think you got all the time in the world. You think you're going to be young for the rest of your life. You feel what I'm saying? But it's not going to happen that way. It'll never happen that way. We keep getting older. And as we age, every year past, 25, you're on a decline with looks. Every year past 25, it gets worse and worse. That's why you see a lot of old folks alone. If you get to be a certain age and you don't have money, you're gonna be old and alone. You feel what I'm saying? You know, that's just the way it is, man. And you'll never get that female you always wanted, you know. There's certain females out there you just won't get a sniff. She won't even give you a sniff of the coochie, bro. You feel what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to get a whiff of it. You know how you want to get close to just to smell it. You know, you won't even get that close, bro. Let me just smell the coochie. Let me just smell it. Let me smell the aroma. You know, you won't even get that close, bro. Without her slapping you and calling the cops. You know, you feel what I'm saying? You won't even smell the coochie, bro. Unless you got money, then you can smell it all you want to. But certain women are not gonna give you that time of day. You feel what I'm saying? You can forget about trying to lift weights, and that's not gonna work. You can lift all the weights. You can even get a 6-pack. You're not gonna get that woman that you want, because you got taller dudes and younger dudes with six packs and better looking dudes with six packs. So why would she want to settle for a shorter guy with a six pack when she could get a taller guy with a six pack and better looking? You feel what I'm saying? So you're just average. You don't really turn me on like that. That guy, that Chad right there, that Tyrone, he turns me on. That Tyrone, the guy that's an 8, 9, or a 10 and looks. And Chad, like you said, Chad and Tyrone was always lurking in the shadows, bro. Even if we do come up on a female that's an 8, Chad is somewhere, or Tyrone is somewhere around, bro. You know. Back then, hell nah. Like back then, they never gave average men a chance, bro. Like, if you did, man, she would treat you badly. Like, I done heard stories of like women who are 7s giving guys who are 4s a try, and when they got with them, they would treat them like trash, like garbage. Always hitting on them, you know, being violent toward them and shit. You know, she was just using them for like an emotional tampon. Maybe she got tired of the Chads and Tyrones just breaking her heart and then decided to give a below average dude a shot. We seen what happened when that happened a while back. Remember that guy, Brian, I forgot his name. He's a sub 5 dude. He's like a 4 in looks. Man, he was so obsessed with her that when it was time to break up from each other, he killed her, man. Because he was so obsessed. He was thinking like, man, I'm never going to get a woman like this. I'm going to keep her around. That's why I say, man, it's dangerous to date women below your looks level. These women become obsessed with you and they might want to kill you or something. Just like he killed her. They don't really talk about that story very much no more. But, you know, that goes to show if you do come up on somebody or a female that's above your looks level, she gonna treat you like garbage. You're not Tyrone. You're not Tyrone. I'm gonna treat you like trash. I'm gonna treat you like garbage. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, they're not gonna give you a shot. Feel me? Yeah. Oh, well, you got to understand, yeah, it's always an ugly dude killing her because, killing a bad chick because they can't get too many of those. And then, you got to understand that some dudes are suicidal like that. You know, if they can't have a bad bitch, they're gonna jump off a plane or jump off jump into the river and drown themselves, or jump off a cliff, jump off a building. They become obsessed with these type of women because there's not too many of those. Remember I told you, sub 5 stalker. I made a huge mistake of trying to have sex with her. And then when I wanted to cut her off, I couldn't get rid of her. These women, or these people that are like below you in looks, they'll become obsessed with you to the point of no return. You see, she did that, throwing coffee on my car every single day. She did that for 4 months. That's a long time to keep doing something over and over again. That means that woman, she had some type of obsession with me. And it could have got dangerous. You know, somebody could have died, man. She would have ended up killing me, or I would have ended up killing her in self-defense. You feel what I'm saying? It was getting dangerous, man. You feel what I'm saying? It was getting dangerous. So always stay in your looks level, no matter how, no matter how desperate you get for sex. Try to stay in your lane. Just try to do that. I know it's hard because, you know, it's hard to get sex. And they say, well, you know, if you want access to sex more, you got to start dating below you. And then you'll have access to sex. You know what I'm saying? A lot more. That's why dudes do it. That's why dudes start dating below themselves. It's a lot easier to get. You know, that's why you see passport bros out there dating average and below average women, because the competition is not so fierce for them type of women. That's why you don't see, you know, passport bros out there dating women without children, or women who are very young, 22 years old, that's a 7 or an 8 in looks. You don't even see white boys doing that much. You feel what I'm saying? Out there in Thailand, you know, if she 22, she got perky breasts, she ain't got no kids, it's a lot more competitive for those type of women versus going out there getting a single mother. You feel what I'm saying? A single mother is easier to get anywhere. You know. You know, a single mother is easier to get. Now the thing is, Gwen was a single mother when I met her, and she was 32. She was older than me. That's how I was able to get her and shit. The only way you can get a woman, you know, that's slightly above your looks level, if she got a kid or something. You know, you got a woman that's a 7 dating a guy that's a 5, but she got a kid and shit. Yeah, he the only one that's stepping up to the plate, being a simp, simping for her. You know, that's the only way you can probably twist the rules around of getting a woman that's slightly above you in looks. Because everybody wants to date above themselves, man. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody wants to have a bad bitch, man. That's why it's so competitive. That's why you'll never see one until you get some money. You know? That's why you'll never ever even get in the company of a bad bitch. Like, you ever notice you ain't never been in a company of a bad bitch? You ain't never sat down and ate with a bad bitch? See, Chaz and Tyrone, this is normal life for them. They get bad bitches all the time. And they picky with the ones who are 3s and 4s and 5s and 6s. Okay, they picky with them. I seen it with my Arabic Chad friend. He was picky with the 5s and 6s, man. He was like, man, I don't want them. She too average looking. I remember I was hanging out with the Chad friend a while back, the Arabic Chad, and we was in a bar and some average women walked in. I was like, yeah, I like them. He was like, nah, I don't fucking with that, man. They ain't got enough ass, man. He was like, they ain't got enough ass. So he threw them back, and I was like, man, they got enough ass for me. Shit, they got a medium-sized ass. I like medium-sized ass. He didn't like it. He like the ass is big. said, I like a big, nice big rump. I ain't fucking with them. I say, damn, yeah. You see, that's why a lot of these females, they be trying to shoot their shot with these Chads and Tyrones. Man, girl, good luck. I mean girl, not man. If the guy got options, he don't have to settle for your ass. You know, and that's why they ended up, you know, that's why a lot of like women, they know they lane after a while. They probably approach some of these hot dudes, these Chads and Tyrones, be like, no, you're average looking. I've been with better bitches than you. It's like me, you know, with Sub 5 Stalker, when she tried to get me into a relationship with her, a female that's below me, I said, nah, I've been with better looking women than you. You ever heard what I'm saying? So it's easy to like, to toss her back. You know, it's like fishing, man. You're fishing and you get something and you will that shit in. It's too small, you throw that shit back. I could afford to because I got plenty of fish. Like the website, you know, the dating site, plenty of fish. You know, I could throw that shit back. When you a Chad or a Tyrone, you got bad bitches coming after you all the time, and that's all you're gonna want is a bad bitch. Once you get a taste of bad bitches, you ain't gonna want nothing else. It's like rich men, bro. Once they get a taste of like bad bitches and what it feels like to be with a bad bitch, that's all they're gonna want. Them average women, that's not gonna work. Cause think about it, man. If you used to fucking bad bitches, and then you come across a female that's average looking, you're like, I don't want her, man. I've been with better looking women than her. You know. That's why when dudes get money, they be with the baddest bitches, man. They get with the bitches that they really want. They get with the bitches that they have always wanted. I know if I got my money right, bro, I'd be checking for the bad bitches with the big booties, bro. Cause that's what I like. Even though me and her relationship might not. Damn. What the fuck is she doing? The fuck is she doing? Man, I swear, people, that was a stupid bitch that fucking drove by and yelled and screamed like that. Stupid, she don't even know I'm going that way. That's why you should never do that to people. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by some stupid ass bitch, you know, it's, you know, because it's competitive. Like in America, like I said, man, it's all about looks. So if you come across a female that's above your looks level, 9 times out of 10, she gonna shoot you down. You know, because you got guys that are better looking than you hunting for that shit too. That's taller, better jaw, and don't forget younger. We older now. We in our 30s and 40s now. You know what I'm saying? You can't compete with them young dudes, man. You know, they above your looks level just by being young. You know what I'm saying? Well, not all the time, man. You know, you could be a good-looking older dude versus the guy who's below average looking. You can still beat him because of your genetics. No, him being young don't have mean nothing. It's all about genetics. But you can't compete with the Chads and the Tyrones. There's no way you can compete with those guys. Those guys, they taller and better looking than you. You gotta beat them with money. That's the only thing you can beat them with, bro. Other than that, bro, you never in your life will get a bad bitch. If you average looking. Like my dad, I never seen him with a bad bitch, bro. Like when he was younger, I remember him walking around with just average looking women. Like my mother, she was an average woman, but she was good looking, man. My dad was good looking too, man. They're both good looking, but they wasn't top tier. You know what I'm saying? My dad kind of remind me of Denzel Washington when he was young. When my dad was young, you know, he kind of remind me of Denzel Washington and shit. They both look alike. You know what I'm saying? You know, mixed with Usher. Denzel Washington mixed with Usher. You know, and it's like, you gotta understand, like, there's some women you will not be able to touch without that butter, without that money, bro. Feel what I'm saying? There's some women that you will never ever get even a sniff from unless you get bread. I could tell, man. I remember when I was doing massage parlors, right? Back in the day, back in my early 30s, I was going to massage parlors, and I kind of got addicted to that stuff. I don't go there no more. It's been years since I've been to a massage parlor. I remember the women that did like me. Damn, this shit, did I blow this shit up? I did. Fuck. So goddamn close. You know, the women that did like me, they'll let me bust a nut inside their mouth. You know, I could tell the passion was real. And when I went to some massage parlors or whatever, and the women who were above my looks level, it was like, I'm good. You could tell they were just doing it for the money. This guy, either because I was black or I was below them in looks. You feel what I'm saying? You know, you could tell the ones that really like you, you know, and they'll let you do extra stuff, you know what I'm saying, that the ones who really don't really like you do. Yeah. But I used to go to those things, man, and I don't go no more. That's a waste of my money, man. You know what I'm saying? For a quick nut, you know what I'm saying? And then they rush you out of there. When you bust a nut, you won't be able to bust two nuts unless they really like you. If they like you, they'll let you bust two nuts. You feel what I'm saying? Bust another nut. You know, if they don't like you, they rush you out the door. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, I'm keeping it a buck. I did go to massage parlors a while back. Years ago, like I was like 32, 33 years old. You know what I'm saying? I used to go there, but it's been many years since I've been to those things, man. Because after a while, you start seeing it as a waste of your fucking money, man. And then the way you have sex is not good because you want to stick around. You want to have more sex. And then you don't have no control or nothing, you know. They got control. You ain't got control. Me, I like to control stuff. So I'm gonna get this bread. Yeah, I'm gonna be messing with call girls, and you know, once I become successful, I don't think it's good to have a girlfriend when you got all that money. You might wake up dead. You know, like that guy got lotto winner. What's his name? Shakespeare. He thought he could just have a girlfriend after he won that lottery. That shit turned into a living nightmare for him. And actually, you know, it wasn't really a nightmare. It was like a death. Like, he died because of the money. He had a female that was plotting to take the money from him, bro. You know, feel what I'm saying? If he would have left that female alone and just kept with prostitutes or just women who are escorts, he would still be alive to this day. That's why when I do hit a jackpot, I'm not gonna be with a girlfriend, bro. I'm gonna be single for a while. I might leave the country, man. You know, to avoid all that bullshit. Motherfuckers got killed, man, once they got their jackpot. They end up getting killed. I said, man, go to a different country. Don't tell nobody, man. Just live out there, man, like a fucking Tyrone out there. I mean, at least you still be alive and be living instead of dead for now. Feel what I'm saying? Tired and thirsty. So I'm gonna work out today. The Yappy Dogs, they back. The Yappy Dogs. They always yapping. He always driving around with them dogs in the back, and they be fucking barking and shit all the time. I call them the Yappy Dogs. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you gotta understand that some women is gonna be out of your reach until you get bread, man. That's the reality for a lot of men, man. It's just, hey, my dad went to his grave. He never saw a bad bitch at all. Not in his lifetime. I never seen him with a bad bitch. And matter of fact, as he got older, the women kept getting uglier. The ones he was being with, like when he turned 50, 60, he was with women around his age that were like ugly, unattractive. He was always complaining about the women being unattractive. I'm like, Dad, like you with her, man. He was like, man, son. I remember we was riding in the car one time, and me and my dad just chilling, right? He was like, I haven't seen him in a while, back when I was hanging out with him. He was in the back of the car, he was talking. He was like, man, you see that poster right there? You see that turtle? The turtle had like spots on him, on his face and stuff, and it was an ugly ass turtle on a billboard. He said, you see that turtle right there? She looked like her. She looked, she looked like that right there. That's how she looked. I was like, man, cause you with her though. So why you complaining about her looks? I didn't say that, but now that I think about it, now I got older, I be like, man, Dad, she's ugly, man. You see, dudes, they go down to like women who are like below their looks level because it's easier to get. There's no fight to get it. If you're trying to jump over a fence to pick some fruit, you kind of want that fence to be as low as possible so you can jump over there and get it. It's easy. You just jump over the fence and get it. But when you got an 8, 9, or 10, good luck, man. You got a fucking mountain to climb in front of you. We're talking about Rocky 5 type of shit, man. Or Rocky shit, man. Just climbing mountains and shit, bro. Getting to the top with snow and everything. That's how it is getting them 8, 9s, and 10s, bro. Nearly impossible without money. Matter of fact, it ain't nearly impossible. It is impossible. I just see some bad bitches out here that I would never be with unless I had money. That's a goddamn shame. You guys have a good day. I'll get back on later. Peace out, take care, and bless. I'm out.